Hi guys, welcome to another video. Thank you for all your comments. Please like and subscribe, it's very important to the channel and I can keep bringing more videos and clips to you. Okay then, without further ado, let's crack on and let's get on to the first clip. Okay, what we're looking at here is the van, the white van behind the bike. As the lights change and we move off, this is one very impatient van who's got obviously no tolerance at all for a learner driver. We are most definitely in his way and holding him up, in his opinion. As we get to the other side, you'll see that we have got two lanes here initially. Here we go. He's in the middle, so at this moment he can't make his mind up. He goes the right one and immediately changes the other side. There's the end of the two lanes. Where is he going? Puts his hands up in gestures. What's going on? What? Because he couldn't squeeze up on the inside and undertake us on a single lane. Not good. Pretty poor. He then moves out to the other side towards the middle of the road, looking to pass us, of course, because he wasn't happy he couldn't do it earlier. Now he's moving over to the other side of the road, looking to pass us, and where there's actually no road at all. As we look to the front of this as he passes, you can see from this side, though nothing was coming the other way, quite hard on acceleration, immediately into a red light, nearly going left, then straight to the right. Okay, this next clip takes place on the A3 and we are in the left hand lane where we should be, nice and relatively clear. We're looking at this lorry ahead on the left and the car in front. It's not that they would do anything particularly wrong, though the learner car could be a little bit quicker when it's looking to enter in. We're catching it quite quickly. We can't get to the right lane because of that vehicle there that just passed us. We had to shoot in quite sharply afterwards. Timing was absolutely key there. And as we look on a rear view camera, you can see as we get close to that lorry, he's in this mid lane. He could have just sort of looked at that situation, maybe gone to the right lane. That would have helped us out an awful lot. And the lorry's just pulling nicely. That's where we moved, as you saw from the front camera, and then we catch up to the learner car in that left hand lane. Problem sorted, but it did require a bit of a reaction there. That could have been, well, that could have been a lot different. Okay, this is in Streatham, London, and what we have here, quite simply, bus lane on the left. No problem at all as we move forward. Person there just passing that white line so they can actually turn left. But what does it say there? Buses ahead only. And just after that, it says sign on the road, left only. Now, I don't know what's going on here, but why is that cab going straight ahead? I know they're allowed to use bus lanes, but that's not what's going on in this particular signage. And I'm sure that's not a black cab. And I'm sure that bike is not a cab either. But it does say turn left there, and that's what I found a bit odd. Here's a sort of a rear view of it. There's the cab, and here comes the I want to be a black cab, and he goes through as well as. And there's the bike on the tow. Now this is the same area while we waited, some more vehicles have come up. The bus is right on top of the turn left only signage. Now as the lights change green, we move off. There's the left only, there's the cab, and there's I'm going straight across. So I'm not sure I fully understand this. I think the signage is quite clear really. We're just waiting for this yellow box to clear so we can get to the other side. There's another bike flipping through on the left only bit. And oh, and here's yet another cab going through. So maybe they know something I don't know. Maybe the left only doesn't apply to them because they're allowed to go on bus lanes and no one is really going to notice. So anyway, have a little look from the back here again, and on doing so, this is where the buses are going through. I'm not sort of trying to rub it in, but there's the bike again in the left only lane, and here's the cab in that turn left only bit. This bit here is where it says buses straight on, and that's where it says left. I mean, that does seem pretty clear. Now as we move a little bit further, there's a car that pulls out, and oh, where is he going to go? He's going to do the right thing. This is a guy that knows what he's doing, and he turns left. Anyway, odd, very odd indeed, as more vehicles come down in that lane. In this clip here, I want to see the rear view camera first. Now the car's not a bad distance at the moment, but we're dealing something up front which you're going to see shortly. But then this car gets really close. This agitated my pupil no end. The camera doesn't quite do it justice. It's a wide angle lens. That's a lot closer than what it looks, and it keeps pinching. Now because of that, have a look at what's going on the front. As we come down here, remember that car getting really close as well. So my pupil's trying to pay attention to that. It's this car on the left looking to pull out. I think our invisibility cloak is working absolutely perfectly again today, because as we let those cars go and we get to move on, what does this car do on the left? Does he wait? No, he just actually pulls out. Now he's very apologetic, but I mean really, where the hell was he looking? Okay, in this clip here initially is what goes on further on ahead, but I did notice just earlier on, I don't understand where this car in front is really, he gets right up the arse of this bus when he knows it's going to pull over, and then he brakes a little bit hard like he didn't see it. A little bit odd as we move forward. But it's not that, it's what's coming up on the right hand side which gets my attention more than anything. I'm glad we weren't part of this bit of mayhem. There's the two vehicles they're pulling out on the right hand side, 1 and 2. It's the second one more than the first one. Watch what the second one does. He literally goes to the right of the car that's trying to turn to the right as well. I don't know what he's thinking of there, or what he thinks he's trying to get away with when he does that, but he pushes and he squeezes, he holds the cars up coming from the other direction, and then he does eventually get in the lane. I'm just going to speed up here a little bit. It's what happens a bit further up the road here, you know, something else quite poor. As you see, we've got the bus lane coming up. It's just terminating as we come up to the lights. Cyclists waiting nicely at the red lights. I mentioned it does make a nice pleasant change. And just a quick look at the back here with the black car Kia coming up behind us. And there's some sort of irony to this, because what he does before he does his silly manoeuvre, he waits for the end of the bus lane. There it is. And then he goes up on our inside, and as he does so, he does this rather silly manoeuvre right near the cyclist and the silver car in front of us. The lights are just about to change. There they go, and he goes whistling up the inside, quickly pulls across the right. Again, that's some poor driving there. Okay, simple little clip. Beautiful Mercedes coming behind us. Nice big expensive one actually. But as he's driving down, he seems to think he doesn't need one lane. He seems to need to want more than that, and he's sort of driving between the two. It's totally unnecessary. Thankfully, there's nothing behind him which causes an issue. But more to the point, as he comes around and we get onto the next part of the dual carriageway, it just goes to show that if you've got a big car like that that's quite fast, you're likely to do this. And as he passes us, he literally just guns it. He's not particularly bothered that it's a 40 mile per hour limit, and he disappears into the distance. I'm not sure what that speed was. Maybe 60, maybe 70. Not good, not good at all. Okay, on this clip we're approaching a roundabout, and if we look at the sign on the left, there's some clear instructions here. That arrow there, which is pointing out that black little line across it, means that there is a feed-off lane. That means this left-hand lane has nothing to do with the roundabout, and you can just feed right around, carry on. There's a left only and a straight on there. This van in front decides as he's going in he doesn't want to do that. As we're going around, because we are joining A3, there it is, left only, straight on. Pretty straightforward. Car's pulling on the right side, and then he indicates he's changed his mind. He goes right across the white lines, nearly hits the van in the process. Very, very poor indeed. Very poor. Now in this clip here, we're mainly aimed at the lorry that's in the left-hand lane as we look at it, and what I'm concerned about there is really just the lack of consideration that he's approaching a learner car. We move over into that lane because we're not peeling off there to the left, and as we do so and we go in this direction, the camera doesn't do it that much justice, but he's a lot closer than what it looks. Again, it's a wide angle lens, and he gets very close, and my pupil is getting a little bit agitated at here, and I do try and keep him calm, tell him to keep focused. And as we get a little bit further, we do just get a few more inches as such away from him. But as we carry on down the road, and he's following us as he's doing, and my pupil is trying to pay attention. I mean, we're looking at the front end here now. We're coming up to a roundabout. Now he's in this right hand lane as we look at it. Now they both go straight on. That's not a problem. So we can go around. It's rather odd actually, instructions to be on the right hand lane there and be able to peel off left here. I think it can get a little confusing. But if we see it from the rear, as we have just done that manoeuvre on the road, you'll see it from here as the lorry comes down in the left hand side as we approach the same roundabout. He's getting very, very close. Now he's actually going in the same direction as us. Now we're not indicating so we're peeling off at all. So I would like to thought a little consideration is going around there. Gets a little bit close again as he peels off and goes in the same direction. When you're dealing with a lorry, you know, they can do a lot more damage than what a car can, and sometimes getting so close to that frightens the pupils. Okay, this is an interesting one. Two vehicles coming up which I'll highlight. They are and have chosen the left hand lane. Believe it or not, they're not going that direction. Why didn't they file in behind me? There they go past, and what we're going to do is have a little look at the front camera action here to see what they do. So there we go, left only lane, which filters left at the lights further ahead. And as they go down this lane, you'll see them pass shortly. And in doing so, a few other cars are going down, but they are actually going left. Now as we go forward, there he is, that's the first one, and he's probably the worst of the two, and here comes the second one. Now as we look further down the road, pay attention to the white car that's gone through. You can see him just ahead there, he's just about to go left there, and he stops. And he thinks, oh hang on a minute, I don't want to go there. So what does he do? He reverses up and then very, very slowly aims to get into the lane that we're in, and the other car behind actually just got it completely wrong and indicates halfway down to get into this lane. I suppose the only saving grace is basically that there's not a lot of cars behind him. Otherwise I think a few horns probably would have gone off, a few more impatient people. Yes indeed, round applause for Macy. One of the reasons we've always got to pay attention when it comes to zebra crossings, you never know what you're going to find. You should always approach with anticipation of something happening. I'm going to highlight here, cyclist just went across the zebra crossing, but basically there's a child right there. A little hard to see with the light of the camera, but where's the parent? There the parent comes running from the right, and what the parent does is pull the child away, goes near the zebra crossing, puts them down and says, oh there you go, now run across, and lets the child run freely again without any sort of control. Got lucky that time, got very lucky indeed, I think. Now as we pass that, I want to have a little subtle look to what was going on behind while we were focused on that particular incident. The car behind us there, the Audi, the guy keeps looking down, and on closer inspection, not sure what he's looking at, you can't quite see it, but he does keep going eyes down like that. And normally that eyes he's looking at his genitalia, or he's looking at a phone generally, but he's not paying attention to what's going on in front of him as he should be. That could have gone awkward, it didn't thankfully. There's his hands appears again as we move on. So my odds are he was playing with his phone, which is a general thing sometimes people do when things aren't moving as swift as they would like it to. Okay guys, well for me it's this fella here, the one on the right. Of all the clips I saw, and there were some choice ones, I would say this one was probably the most stupidest move coming out, and quite selfish in respect to what he was doing with other drivers around him, and I'm thankfully that we was a bit further down the road on this occasion. Thank you for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you again on the next video. Thanks very much again. Bye bye for now.